what's up guys, Singh here, and these are the OnePlus Buds. So I've been using these buds for the last 4 months. This means that I've been using these for everything like online gaming, watching YouTube, etc. In contrast, these have been my only buds that I've used for the last 4 months. So here is everything you need to know about these. Firstly, let's talk about the design. Right off the bat, you can see that these resemble Apple's AirPods, but unlike Realme, they didn't go all out copying the whole design. Rather, OnePlus decided to tweak the design a bit, but in a good way. The charging case looks like an egg. It's round in a way that it's quite easy to carry around in a pocket. It is also quite clean looking. We have a LED at the front that is used to check the battery of the case and to check if the buds inside are charging or not. This LED is pretty good. It does not bleed like the one on the Realme Buds here. At the back, we also have a button that is used to put the buds in the pairing mode or light up the LED at the front to check the battery status of the case. The thing I really like about this case is that it comes with a matte finish. This provides incredible scratch resistance and also makes the case anti-fingerprint. The only thing that I don't like about this case is the hinge. Compared to the size of the lid, this hinge is quite small. It's not bad. Opening the lid is actually quite smooth, and it also adds a bit of the resistance that makes closing it quite satisfying. The thing is that due to the small size of the hinge, the lid wobbles, which makes me question its durability. I have not heard any complaints about the hinge yet, but yes, this is the thing that I noticed. Moving on to the inside of the case, we have the buds. The part that goes into your ears is exactly like the earpods, but the back is where we can see design tweaks. Instead of putting a touch area somewhere on the bud, OnePlus decided to make a dedicated circular area for the touch controls, which I really like as you don't have to get used to it. It's quite easy to locate and it just works. Another thing that I noticed is that instead of placing a wear sensor on the earpiece, OnePlus located it on the part that rests on your ear. And I think that it was a really good decision as it increases the accuracy, making sure that the music does not resume when you are just holding the buds in your hands. Now let's talk about the sound quality. Now I'm not an audiophile by any means, but I will still try my best to give you an idea about how they sound. Before using these, I've been using the OnePlus Buds Wireless 2. Those were my go-to earphones for the last 1 year. I would say that the sound quality is identical. The only real difference is the bass. OnePlus Buds Wireless 2 had softer bass, but Buds, on the other hand, have much more bass and punchy sound. OnePlus Buds also take advantage of a much bigger 14mm driver instead of 10mm in the Buds. Not only this, the audio on the Buds has much better separation. According to the OnePlus's site, these earphones also support noise cancellation, but to me, this does not make any difference. I think that the environmental noise cancellation on the Budsy would be much better because of the design. But those come with smaller drivers. I would say that the environmental noise cancellation on the Bullets was much better, maybe because of the design. In conclusion, I would say that for the price, they sound a lot better than the competition. So moving on to the microphones. Each bud has 3 mics built into them, but I would say that when I first got these, the microphones on this thing sounded horrible. It literally made the mics on this thing unusable. But however, it was fixed later on with the help of a software update. And after the update, they are good. So I've been using these for online gaming sessions, online classes, and calls, but no one ever complained about the microphone. Now let's move on to the another important thing, that is the battery life, and it is amazing. The battery life on these lasts for 6 hours. Basically, you can use them for more than 30 hours because the case itself is capable of charging the earphones 3 times from 0 to 100. I was never able to kill the birds in single use, so for me, the battery lasts for much longer. I remember charging the case once a week, which is awesome. This was not the case with my bullets. I had to charge them every 2 days. In short, the battery life is nothing to worry about. In addition to great battery life, OnePlus also added their stupid fast warp charging, which is capable of charging this case for 10 hours in just 10 minutes. The case takes about 80 minutes to get from 0 to 100. These buds also come with a lot of extra features which make them much more enjoyable to use and user-friendly. Firstly, we have the phone controls. If you have a OnePlus phone, you will get full control over the buds without the need of downloading any other application. Right after connecting the buds, you get battery percentages for both the buds and the case. Then you get an option to change the controls. You can choose what you want buds to do when you single tap or double tap. Not only this, but you can also set different controls for different buds, which is great given that you have very little controls. I will get to that later in this video. Then you get an option for software updates. You can turn on automatic updates if you want to keep your buds updated. We also have an option to find buds if you can't find them. Using this, you can ring the bud you are not able to find, and it will guide the bud to play a sound at the full volume. So this feature is not really useful considering the fact that there is hardly any sound bleed on these, so it narrows down the use case by a lot. Next, we have wear detection. In addition to pausing your music when you take the buds out of your ear, the bud stays quiet if you have both of them out of the case but only one of them in your ear. So if you have a bud on the table and the other one in your ear, the audio will only be played in the bud that is in your ear. The other one will just stay quiet, saving battery life. I don't know if this feature is there in other buds also, but I have never noticed this feature in any other truly wireless earbud. Then we have the low latency mode. This unfortunately only works on the OnePlus devices, so whenever you turn on the Fanatic mode while gaming, these earphones will automatically go into the low latency mode. The latency is already very less on these, but the Fanatic mode decreases it to even lower, 98 milliseconds. I don't really use this very much, but according to the folks who have been using it, this does not affect the battery life, which is awesome for the hardcore gamers. As good as these look, they also come with a lot of downsides as well. First is the design. When I got these for the first time, I couldn't wear them for the longer periods as it used to hurt my ears. It took a week to get used to it, but yeah, that 1 week was horrible. Another downside is that the controls on this thing are limited. So you only get play, pause, next song, and the previous song's control. That's it. There is an assistant gesture, but you have to sacrifice one gesture if you want to accommodate this one. Downsides also come around when we talk about the folks who don't have the OnePlus devices. These buds do not come with the full support out of the box. You have to download the Hey Melody app to get the full functionality. The low latency mode we talked about earlier, well, forget about that. There is no way of using that with the non-OnePlus device because there is no Fanatic mode. If you are thinking that you can still manage without it, well, I have tested these buds with many phones and the results are not good. The latency increases. So, with that being said, should you buy these? Well, yes. So, I would say that these are the best earphones you can buy under $100, or if you don't want to spend much. And if you have a OnePlus device, then you should just go out and buy them. I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to check them out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Talk to you guys in the next one.